Good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a very soggy Australian Grand Prix here for UPL. It's on my channel. If you're watching this later on, it's on your channel, but it's so far on my channel because it didn't log me in. So hello everyone, welcome to Australia. My name is Sir Murray Walker. Joining me in the comments box today is the Dutch version of Martin Brundle. I don't know what the Dutch version in Dutch commentaries are. So Vetro, who are you?
I guess I'm Guido van der Garde, or Guido van der Garde. Guido Bentegaard, actually, as he's more commonly known in British audiences. But yeah, back here for UPL, really soggy Australia. Currently we've got Tony F1 first in first, so that's a good thing for him. Not a whole big gap to I6 though. I6 is going to ready his lap time, and maybe he will still take a shot at pole.
Off the road.
We've seen one crash. We've seen a few crashes actually, but one of them with disastrous ending because Black Ops Nuke has crashed somewhere and he has lost the wheel somewhere, so he's not going to improve his lap time.
Well, if you're wondering, by the way,
Chris off into the wall.
Yeah, actually. Ferrari off the road. That's the exit of that's the fast chicane. That's a really high-speed place to go off. Now, if you're wondering, this isn't a 2010 car. No, as it crashes into the TV, because that'd be $5,000, Chris. We are driving these little beasts called the 04 and the 03 Ferrari and Renault. But it's not a Renault, it's a Williams. Say hello to the Williams. There it is. It's a beautiful V10 engine back to it. Listen to the power of the mighty V10 roar.
It does sound a bit high-pitched on this game, I've got to be honest. It kind of sounds like a crying animal or something. I don't know, I don't really like the sound that much on this game, I must be perfectly honest.
So, roaring, flying colours. V10 engines make the returning. Everyone's retiring from qualifying. So far, like, yeah, we got that's ozone off. That's at turn 1. And, oh dear. And disqualified for going the wrong way. He's going the wrong way. And disqualified from the session. That's not what you want to see. There is a Williams on the grass. There's a Williams going through the grass. Charles Leclerc now driving for Williams. He's got sacked from Ferrari, joined Williams. Now, this Williams is a bit quicker than probably the actual Williams in real life, isn't it, I think?
It most definitely is, yes. Tony does improve, though, by the way. But can I6 do anything? He needs 5/10 at least.
Doesn't do it. Got 36 seconds to go.
And it doesn't do it. Maybe he's got another run, but the tires are going to be off, of course, and I don't know if he will be able to improve. I see Leclerc coming through the final sector in the indeed faster Williams than the actual 2019 one.
That's good. I6 is backed off.
He's not going well. He's not backed off. He's crashed, and he's not going to get pole position today.
Let's see, Charles Leclerc through the last corner. Looks pretty nervous, doesn't look very good. He's just going to cross the line with 1 second to go, by the way. So he perfected that to perfection. Pligs is up by 2.5 seconds there. He's lost a bit of his front wing, however, so that is not really what you want to be doing. A bit of front wing damage there.
2.5 seconds is not going to do it for him.
Well, let's find out, of course, what they can do. It's going to be an interesting race when we come to it.
Just about.
There we go. Cross line there. So now it's all down to Charles Leclerc then in the Williams BMW. Australia. That's if you get the reference. Good to know. Well, we're coming through. This is a little tricky section, better. In the dry, this is a very easy part of the track. In the wet, it's very difficult. I imagine in these V10 cars, it's even more difficult as they come down to this little chicane.
Yeah, lack of downforce, of course, more power, wheel spin, of course, and just the really tiniest bit of steering can just cause a lot of oversteer, but not for Tony because he just improves his lap time. And he's got a massive gap to I6 and
that's going round, and that is Charles Leclerc going backwards through the corner and has decided that's enough. I've had enough of going backwards for a moment and retires from the system. Love the helmet, by the way. That's a very nice helmet for the Williams.
Yeah, it looks a bit like Kimi's helmet.
Does look like the old Tony P1 from I6, Black Op in P3. Bevezia will start in P8. Chris in 5th. So he'll be 4th. So Leclerc in 5th. Plix in 6th. Cura in 7th. BV will start 8th because Ozone, of course, has been disqualified from the session, so he'll be starting down the back. So, Williams, Ferrari, Williams, Ferrari is the current grid then. And that's a lot of cars with the same name.
Only 9. So not a lot, not a big grid today. Anyway, what do you think Bavessi has done to get the penalty? Because I haven't seen him done anything interesting.
He must have crashed or something. Then we didn't see it, of course, because we couldn't look at the penalties. But the only reason I imagine he's got that is either speeding at the pit lane, potentially, which I think just gives you a warning, or he's collided with another car. That is the other possibility.
Speeding in the pit lane, that's maybe a possibility? I don't know.
Nonetheless, we'll find out, of course. It's a long one down towards Turn 1, veteran. We've seen crashes before here. We all remember 2002. So what do you think these drivers are going to be focusing on down to lap Turn 1?
Not braking too late. That's going to be the main focus, and trying to get the inside, because to get the inside is pretty good thing here. And yeah, it is a semi-street circuit as well, so the walls are always very close, and a tiny mistake can cause huge accidents here and ruin the race. There, is that like there's a wall there too? Ooh, i6 is really aggressively weaving to get some temperature in the tires, it looks like.
Now, of course, like we say, we go back to this era cars. We did mention 2002. We've seen other crashes as well. 2014 was a shunt at the start. So the first real corner, there's always chances of shunt. We all remember 1996 as well, veteran, of that spectacular crash. Martin Brundle flipping over the back of David Coulthard's McLaren. Not the first time a car slipped over the back of a McLaren with David Coulthard. We'll go back to Monaco in 04, I believe that was. Oh dear. There's i6's crashed it.
Oh, he has crashed as well.
Now that's going to be a bit embarrassing for him. Now again here it's looking so... First place is bolted. Second place is miles back. Third and fourth, they're actually all in order I think this time, which is good. So they've been told keep in order, and they're all in order. And look at where Tony is compared to where BV is. That's almost half the track already. He's going to be waiting there for a long time. That's not worked for him, has it?
It has not, no. It's well, it doesn't really matter that much, because of course the tires, it doesn't really matter what you do in the information lab. The tires are not affected by whatever you do, I'm pretty sure.
No, they're not. Meanwhile, got Williams there going slowly. I think Leclerc may have just crashed into i6, or i6 is trying to... They're trying to warm their tyres up, and I think they don't realise that the tyre doesn't really matter on the formation there. But everyone warming their tyres up as best they can as a dead bunch up here.
i6 has stopped his back.
Yes, he's basically stopped the car. Now he's going to catch up to this this conqueror of cars right now through the last corner. Williams, Ferrari, Williams. Then comes the other Williams, and the Ferraris are inside each other, Vector. And that there is how we made the 05 car.
Yeah, really good teammates. Good, yeah, good to see. Good teamwork.
Let's see, of course.
Really working together to form one car together.
No, always say one car can be sometimes better than two if you're working in a team like that. Well, Williams though, that's the front row. First time, I think, in a long time that both Williams have held the front row in a Formula 1 event. It's 2014 Austria, so that's something.
Bavessi does start last instead of Ozone, even though Ozone got disqualified. Bavessi, his penalty does put him on the last spot on the grid.
Ozone coming to the line then. In a long time, he's keeping these drivers waiting for an absolute age, being a little bit of a slow trundle up, but that won't matter too much. The tyres may be cold, but they're all going to be back up the temperature in just a few moments' time. So, here we go then. The 2004 And free season is ready to go when the 5 lights are on, and they are off, and we saw this last time out. The lights are on and they stay, and now we're underway then in Australia. Good start from the Williams, good start from one of the Ferraris low then, as they come down towards turn number 1. Is everyone to be clean through there? Good start from Tony, good start from Black Ops, and everyone running through clean low as they come through turn 1 into turn number 2 then. But crucially for Black Ops, he's got that start. Here comes the Williams then, trying around the outside, and oh dear!
The Williams broke the late, and he's hit the Ferrari in his
and
round.
The Ferrari round and Ferrari contact, and there you can see Black Ops nuke round, Cura involved, and I have to say I think that might just have been one of the Williams causing that one.
Yeah, I saw Williams braking a bit too late and hitting a Ferrari at the back, and that's Black Ops. He has been tapped around, and he's all the way down on the back of the grid now.
Yep, damaged front wing as well.
Actually, good start, by the way, from 9th to 5th.
Very good start there for the Williams driver. So Williams. That is your top 5. Then comes all the Ferraris, who have all had their own roars right now. Chris there battling away with, that is Ozone there, who's I think's got damage on the front of the ring. No, that is Cura who's got damage, and I believe Black Ops might also have a bit of damage as well. But the Ferraris, all in a little bit of a bunch right now, but it's the Williams so far up front doing a good job.
It's Cura on the outside of the Ozone, and he's done it because Ozone made a bit of a mistake, I think. And
now he's on the outside. Chris does him around the outside. Oh,
Chris
who's
crashed.
Now in the wall, and that they're not ideal. And he's
retired
out
as well,
of
so
the
he's not happy with that.
But meanwhile, up front, look here, we got Williams. They're all just Williams train right now. So Tony leads from I6 ahead of Plix then. So the top 3, as they are, is we come through turn number 1. Chris has left the session. He is a livid veteran. I don't suppose crashing that early, it's going to be angry there. Cura a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. But already we're seeing a little bit of a train form then behind the leading Williams. Yellow flag sector 1. I'm wondering, is that for Chris's AI? I think it might be. He's parked off somewhere, but Williams doing good up front.
Yeah, Williams, top 5, and actually I6 now on the back of Tony. He's trying to make no contact a bit. Luckily,
look for Plex.
Yeah, Plex now looking at 2nd position. Round the outside, surely not. No, he's got to back off. And really good exit from I6 there, and he's right at the back of Tony again.
Now, I think he slightly cut that corner ever so slightly there, Vector, but he's having a think down the inside. Tony gives him the room. I6, a little bit of lag there for the Williams. The BMW lagging. He's off the road, or was that lag? I think he is off the road.
He's off the road. He is off the road.
And what's out here? Here comes the Ferraris. And I think
he's not on the road. It was lag.
It was lag.
A big lag.
Well, that's
a big lag spike.
Not what you want to see, that big of a lag spike, but back on the road, and he hasn't got damage, and that is very lucky. Tony, fastest lap of this race, then 1:26.6. They are about 2 seconds off, I think, what they sold in 2004, I think, actually. So they're not too far off there. Again, that lag spike there for my 6. He might get himself told off for that one. Very laggy indeed. Hopefully, though, it doesn't cause any issues, Vetro.
Well, I've rarely seen that big of a lag spike before, and that is going to cause issues one day or another.
And he's off the road again.
Off again. There might be lag. Yeah, there's lag.
There is lag.
I just don't know if he's actually
off.
Oh,
look, here comes the other Williams then, up the rear chuff. Never mind, he's not up the rear chuff. He was, now he isn't. I6 is challenging Tony.
He still is, what? Oh, I'm getting confused now.
Everything's lagging. Tony leads. I6 is second. Then comes the other Williams there. Try and have a look there. Clicks on I6 and through he goes. Well, and I imagine in about 2 seconds he's about to go back into P2. Or is he? I know. Yes. No. Yes.
What a move from
Fantastic.
P4 to P2.
Oh God.
Disconnected. It had to happen. It had to happen. The lag was too much. Out
of the Australian Grand Prix goes the lag. And can he get back into the question? And that is rather shot, that one.
So that's the second retirement already. So 7 drivers still in the race.
7 drivers in, and this race, I think was
fastest lap now.
Black Ops early Ferrari lad.
On the Professor goes wide, and this is the chance Cura has been waiting for. But he hits the back of the Professor and breaks a bit of his front wing. Round the outside here, and he is actually going to do it. Yes. Yes, he is going to do it. Great move from him.
Williams there left struggling then on the exit lane, and the Ferrari, it's got a lot more downforce, remember. The Ferrari does. Williams has got the top speed advantage, but the Ferrari very good around the corners.
He did break his front wing on the back of Bevessi here, though.
Oh,
because Bevessi did a bit late defending maneuver, and Kira hit the back of him, so tiny bit of front wing has flown away.
Team together like Tony and Plixon. Massive toe in these cars, I must say. They're really getting a toe off each other here, and Tony's going to have to cover it, I think, because look at the Williams is coming straight through, already up to 200 miles an hour. And this is a really quick little car then. So they come into this double right-hander. There's the first bit into the second. Tony a bit wide there as they come through towards the penultimate corner. Still though, Tony holding his line just about there. Let's see down the straight, Vetro. These BMW engines, very, very, very quick.
Yeah, 20,000 RPM almost. And a lot of horsepower. On the brakes, actually, Plix has found a bit of time on Tony. In the slipstream now, no DRS here, of course.
Quickest, here we go then. Plix up the inside, thinks about it. Tony gives him the space there. Now, there's no way around the outside really here. It's a very awkward place to go around the outside. We've seen it once or twice before in real life, and we almost saw it minutes ago. But Tony, he knows where he's placing his car. And all this is allowing, by the way, is Cura and the Ferrari here. 2.7 seconds, and I believe he is closing up ever so slightly as these three start to battle. And remember, dirty air, not a thing in these 034 cars. They really don't get affected at all. I mean, you can just see how they punch air straight through, and Tony, he'll be defending it here a little bit, and most likely be defending out of this corner. Plix, 3 seconds.
Plix has got a penalty there.
Now he's going to have to try it. And see, Tony's going to go around the inside, force him around the outside. Will be difficult there, but he'll have to hold the outside here, and that's going to be even more difficult. That'll be brave as Tony a bit of lags by there, still side by side there. Into the last corner, he pops it down the inside. Now he'll have to back off because that corner tightens, and he loses it. And Leclerc
goes through.
Get Leclerc through, and look behind. Ferrari's now just under a second away, and it's only 2 seconds away from the leader. The Ferraris are coming. And look, faster lap, 24.7, 24.3. They're dropping the Ferraris, starting to come alive on these tyres, Vectro.
2 seconds quicker than the leader. Tony to 126.4. Black Ops has got a 124.3. So that's 2 seconds quicker, and look at the speed they're catching up.
And the Bridgestone tyres working a lot better than those Michelin tyres. Of course, they're not labelled that, but that's what they would be in real life. Michelin versus Bridgestone. Now, the Bridgestone runners doing pretty well right now. Only 2 cars out of this race. We have I6 and Chris out of this race. 1 Williams, 1 Ferrari. Here we go then. Battle here. That's Leclerc and Plix battling together. Plix on the inside. Leclerc, he's trying to keep on the outside, but now he's this really tricky section. He gets squeezed out and Plix straight through. I think he touched the wall there, but he got away with it. And let's see, coming back then, is Leclerc going to try anything into this next couple of corners? Because behind him, look, that Ferrari, Vetro, is right with him.
Yeah, the Ferraris have got some really some extra pace, really.
The Ferrari's got damage,
Tony
Vetro.
is under pressure now from Plix, because Plix has got a bit more pace than Tony, it looks like, at this point in the race.
Yeah, Tony right now, well, the idea, he's trying to hold these guys up. The more he holds these guys up, the Ferraris are coming. And the Ferraris are right with him. Remember, Cura's got a damaged front wing. Cura has got half a front wing, and he's still going. Look how quick he is. Now the slipstream trade. Tony's going to have to cover the inside. He'll force him right then through turn 1. He won't do around the outside. That'll be brave. Now, can he get the cut back then? Down towards turn number 2 or 3, I suppose. That's the thing. Now,
good exit.
He'll get a good exit. He has to go the long way around. He'll get squeezed out wide here, I imagine. Let's see. Squeeze them so slightly out wide.
On the outside as well.
Yeah, Ferrari on the outside as well. Gets position. Clicks in P1 then. Ferrari of Cura in P3. And that there is exactly what your leader needed.
Definitely, even though Plix has got a 3-second time penalty, of course. So he needs to punch the gap. But if we see the pace of the Ferrari, look at Cura. He's reeling Tony in so fast.
Yep, that. Oh, wow!
He's lost it.
Wow, Vetro, you've done it now, my friend. Welcome to the club of cursing.
Now Black Ops Nuke is now on the back of Leclerc, and that's the second Ferrari, of course, with a whole front wing. So Blazer got another penalty, so that's 6 seconds. So he needs to have absolute magic pace if he wants to punch that gap. But anyway, Black Ops Nuke now really close to Leclerc, really close to the podium. And seeing the praise of the Ferraris, he will definitely make a move soon.
And you know, I reckon oh! Leader! Off! Plick's in the wall! He spun the car. He's got it going again.
Damage, though.
He hasn't got any damage. But now look here, all of a sudden, it's a Ferrari.
Now he has. Oh, now he has. He's spun it again, and now he's got damage on the left front.
And into the wall there, Plick, when he needed at least to spin. Put himself in trouble.
Leclerc on Tony. Oh, he almost hit him. But it's all fair and square still. And Black Ops Nuke is all. He's actually gone purple. Look at the different lap times between the Ferrari and the Williams.
Yellow again.
Yellow flag.
Now, I don't know who that's for, and I think that, yeah, it's the Williams again.
Oh, that's
Leclerc! Leclerc off the road!
Leclerc's gone off! So the P2 man has now gifted Black Ops Nuke the P2, and now Tony and Black Ops are now in the top 2, and Cura right behind them. So the dropper like twice, looks like. Oh, here comes Black Ops. He's got a really good exit compared to Tony.
Let's see. It's going to be difficult. Then he picks up the inside. I thought there was a gap for a second. Had to back off then. And now his teammate, the other Ferrari, coming at him.
Yeah, it's a big battle for the top 3. Oh, he's braked a bit too late. And now Cura has got a good chance to actually take second from him. Not quite, because the exit was a bit shabby. But to be honest, it's going to be an interesting battle here. The Ferraris are going way quicker than the Williams right now.
But if they battle, Vettel, they can take each other off. Remember, the Ferrari, theoretically quicker. Leclerc in the pit lane. Now, if I was Cura, I'd be staying back. Let Black Ops come through and pass, and then you can mount your charge. You know you're quicker than Tony. Battling now is the last thing they need.
Yeah, they could try to help each other, of course, a bit. But of course, it is free-for-all. They will not give each other any positions, and it's all for one.
One for all.
Individual.
Is the quote there? Here we go. That Black Ops closing right back up. That on your leader. That Williams, Ferrari, and there's like an attack dog coming at it. The prancing horse attacking the quite essential British team. The question is, Vatsu, where is the prancing horse going to pounce?
I think he's got a really good chance in turn 3, maybe, after the second straight.
Let's see, on board we go. That for a brief second then, with the...
Also, Flix and Ozone are having a bit of a battle.
Well, you keep an eye on that. I'll keep an eye here up front. Bit wide there. Williams makes a mistake there for the last corner. Here we go then. Ferrari. Now can he pounce? The Williams will break late. The Ferrari will try and break late. They almost touch in turn number 1. Squeezes them out wide.
Cura into P2. He might actually take 2 of them.
Cura.
Cura's got a good chance to
now he's going to come through around the outside. Can the other Ferrari do it? He pulls alongside. Squeezes past into the lead here in Australia. Good move then.
Move as well.
Squeezes past with a damaged car, and now can Cura run away? Oh no! Oh, his tyre's gone! The tyre's gone! It's gone wrong for the Ferrari. Cura's bottled it horribly there. He took the lead. He didn't stay there.
He was in the lead for about 2 seconds, and then a horrible mistake there, and he's lost the tire. That's got to be so sour for him.
And then behind they got Plicht, who's got half that front wing still. He's carrying on. There.
Here comes Black Ops. Here comes Black Ops on Tony now.
Up the inside. Gets past them. Ferrari leads now. This time with the last longer. The Williams trying around the outside. Can't do it there. Has to back off. And there's no space at all. Now can the Ferrari just try and run away then? For the last corner. Let's see, the Williams we know is very quick in a straight line. Let's see if he can get a good exit here. He might just try and blast back past that Ferrari down the straight. He'll be very brave. Let's see, is he going to go left or right? He's closing. He won't go up the inside. He'll be forced around the outside. Try the cutback. Now try and get the exit. The Ferrari will have to cover it, Vettel. He'll have to cover the inside line.
And he does do so. Tony on the outside.
Tries to squeeze him wide.
Not keeping it there.
Black Ops then retains the lead here in Australia then. We're on lap 11 of 15 and out of 15 then. That means with 15 still to go then. We have the battle for the lead then. And so far, Black Ops, Tony, BV in Bavaria in P3. He's got that damage, by the way. Then we've got Plix with even more damage. Somehow staying ahead of Ozone, who is out of this race, it seems. The Claire in 6th, I6 in 7th. Cura and Chris both out of this race. But Ferrari leading when it matters most. One retired as soon as he got into the lead. This one, though, staying there for the time being. And let's hope for its sake it doesn't end up in the wall.
Well, it does look like he's putting a bit of a gap to Tony. And I think he has just got more raw pace than him at this moment. But yeah, one tiny mistake and Tony has got still a chance to win this race.
Of course, in terms of the championship, it's running the old point scale system. That means it's 10-8, then I think it's 6-5-4-3-2-1. If I'm not too mistaken with my old point scoring system.
Depends if it goes to the top 6 or the top 8.
It's the top 8, of course, that gets the point. The scores for the mid-2000s, of course.
2002.
Yeah, 2002 plus then. So the last point scoring system, the one that I found was a bit more fair than the current 25 points. What do you think, Vatro?
Well, the problem with having only 8 people in the points is that people in 10th and 11th and 12th are just not motivated anymore to keep pushing for another point, because it doesn't really matter if you're 11th or 12th or 10th or 9th. It doesn't matter because you get no points anyway. So maybe it is better when it goes to 10, in my opinion.
Indeed, of course, the championship's a lot more closer when the old point scoring system as well. But
it looked closer. It looked closer, but it was always also harder to close a gap.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? I suppose you'll remember, of course, some great battles as well. And we also remember a certain Ferrari dominating the championship, won it by France in 2002, if I'm not too mistaken, which I think is the earliest anyone's won it, potentially. Apart from that, I think the only other car to win it quite early in Formula 1 might have been Nigel Mansell. Meanwhile, battle here between the two Williams. That's Plix and Leclerc almost touching. Remember, Plix has got damage, so Leclerc should just go through. Leclerc will, yeah, it does do so. Plix has got no grip, so he runs out wide. My nose is not too far back either, so we're interesting to see. But back to my point, Vatro. I think the earliest someone's ever won might just generally been the French Grand Prix with Schumacher 02, if I'm not mistaken.
What was your question?
The quickest someone's won the championship, I think, is Michael, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it was actually, yes. It's with like half of the races still to go.
Indeed, of course. Mansell won it round 11, of course, in 1992.
Yeah. 2002 was one of the, well, I don't want to say worst, but one of the least exciting seasons.
Plix in the pit lane, meanwhile, for a new nose. And see, gets a new one on then. The Williams have slight damage to that car. Long
in my opinion, the real worst F1 season was still 2014.
Yeah, it's one of the seasons of least interest. Apart from, of course, the only real enjoyment was, I think, 2 free races in 2014, wouldn't you say, Vatro?
There were some good races, indeed, yeah, but it just...
Overall.
The cars were ugly and, well, 2014 was just not really enjoyable to watch, in my opinion.
Indeed, meanwhile, lap 14 for your race leader. Remember, of course, back
Black Ops are going quicker and quicker and quicker. 123.8 now.
The car gets lighter on fuel, the quicker it's going to go, remember. Back to my thing here, with the 2014 cars, and something a good old friend of mine said, the Formula, the Super Formula cars were actually quicker than half of the field. So the Super Formula in Japan, of course, were quicker than the 2014 F1 cars, and that is something pretty surprising, isn't it?
Yeah, that just says it all, doesn't it?
Of course, those cars were about 3 seconds slower than the 2013 cars, and well, some say the V8s were definitely better than the V6s, and some cases they were, in some cases though, some tracks benefited from those V6s. The likes of Bahrain, Vatro, have seen classic races since 2014, really, haven't we?
Definitely.
Yeah. Of course, that might be attributed to the fact it's now a night race, of course. Been interesting to see what the old V8s could do back then. Remember, the Bahrain circuit was on the calendar when this car was driving the 04 Ferrari. One of that season it was raining just before the race. That's a fun fact for you there.
Even though it was an interesting layout, though.
Yeah, it was the layout we currently have now. Of course, the 2010 layout, the endurance spec layout, definitely divided opinions, and they quickly changed that for 2012 when it returned after, of course, being off in 2011 due to the high tensions in the country. On the final lap for your race leader, Vettel, and he's just kept it nice and cool right now since he's taken the lead, and now got over a 5-second lead pretty much.
Yeah, look at the fastest lap as well, 1:23.6, 1.5 seconds quicker than Tony. Well, almost 1.5 seconds.
No, miles quicker. Tony right now, the Williams, not up to speed right now. Remember, it's going to be different circuits. That Williams will be very quick at. The Ferrari may be quick here in Australia, but come the next race, who really knows what's going to be happening? Because we've seen how quick the Ferrari can be, and we know how good it really is in certain conditions. So let's see, in the rain, the Williams is quick. So let's see, they're coming up to lap. That is I6. He's got, we believe he got kicked from the session there. So that's interesting to note. But through the last couple of corners then, let's see, Ferrari, as long as he does this last right and then the one left and then one more right to go then. Here he comes then. Winner last season. The almighty Italian Stallion back in Italy. Won the championship in 2010. Leads it in 2004 then. Ferrari on top then in Australia. Mitre Britain defeated on the first hurdle then. Williams second. Oh, off. Bavaria's lost it there on the last corner. Last corner, he's got the car going. He hasn't stalled it. He'll keep third because the car...
Leclerc is off.
Leclerc off the road. Bavaria off the road. And I think Leclerc will get it back going again. Bavaria in third. Leclerc's got no pressure from behind. But he'll just about get it across the line then in fourth. Ozone, I believe, might generally still get fifth place in this race, despite him being an AI. Plix is going to be in P6 and I6 in P7 then, so it's waiting for the last car then. Leclerc got very lucky then not to spin into the wall. He's going to come through the last corner, that'd be fourth for him.
So that means that Plix 6 is 6th place.
Plix
That's
6.
Confusing.
And I6 is I7. So,
Plix 6 is in 6th and I6 is one position behind 6th.
Yeah.
Which is in the hands of Plix 6.
That's it then. So, Plix 6 then in 6th position and into the wall, and he was the last car to finish as well.
Plix actually had no damage on the car actually.
Oh, that was that went to the... And Alain Prost in third position.
And one France.
And one Alain Prost.
Oh yeah, British Alain Prost. There we go.
The English Alain is back on the podium. And now the champagne.
Which has got no brand.
No. Brought to you by insert brand name here, I suppose, then.
It's probably children's bubbly or something.
Yes, a bit of the lovely bubbly. Ah, wow. Your top three today. Black Ops Nuke takes the victory here in Australia. Tony in P2. Vezia in P3. Now, Vectro, who is your driver of the day?
My driver of the day must be Black Ops Nuke because he has got... he had a really big gap on the beginning of the race, and actually with his 3-second penalty, which we didn't notice before, he actually did manage to put a gap big enough so he can still win the race. And going from back up the grid, I think that's a really great example of how you should drive.
Indeed it was. I have to say, can't question with that. Black Ops definitely driver of the day. Well, until next time, I have been Evil, and Vetro have been Vetro. Thank you for joining us here in Australia. Until next time, take care. Ta-ra.